There's nobody there, Luna. It's just the stream. There we go. Jump. Lay down. Down. Luna, down. Come on, sweetie. Down. Okay? You hear something. That's the thing. And my neighbor's lights just turned on, which means, yeah, there's something out here with us. But that's okay. Lay down, Luna. Down. Come on. Oh, this is perfect. Because even if it snows, it's not going to snow in here. I'm watching you. Good. Good, Lucius. Get snow tires and come up here and sit in a half shelter with me. There we go. Get some new tires, come up here. Ah. Why? Why are you like this? Why? Why are you like this? I mean, it's funny as fuck, but why are you like this? Yeah, that sounds about right. Sounds about right. As you can see, I'm not in front of my PC. I'm in front of the fire pit today with Luna. She doesn't want to be on screen, apparently. There we go. She's like, Dad, it's cold. I don't pay you yet. The second the channel starts making oodles amount of money, yes, I'll pay you so you can quit your job and you can move up here. I swear to God, you threatened to kidnap my dog again. What's wrong with it? It's a little chillier than you're used to up here, eh, Luna? So I got my backpack. There's a backrest here, and it's full of food. So at some point, I might make myself a meal. I said threaten to kidnap, not the actual act of kidnapping. Big difference. Big difference. I think you guys can actually see my breath today. It's significantly colder this time than it has been for the last couple of runs, I think. The only difference is this time, if it snows, I have the half shelter up, as you can see above me. So I don't have to put the fire out right away. I have the heat-proof shielding, so that's good. And it's the hole for it is actually large enough that none of the actual chimney touches it, so gold. Yes, the temperature is also a food, Lucius. The temperature is also a food. Actually, speaking of chili, I wouldn't mind having some right now. I think I actually have some in my backpack. So that's something I could potentially make for myself. And, I don't know, sounds like it would be a good idea. Feel a bit of chili in my stomach. There we go. Scrape some of that. So what's everybody up to today? Can you see the flames? Can you see this? This thing's bright. This thing's damn bright. I'm happy with it. And because I'm using the half shelter today and it's the first time using it, I did bring out a fire extinguisher just in case. Because you always want to be safe. But yeah, it's bloody cold. Like, I actually have to put my hood up here, which is, wow. Having to put my hood up, you know it's cold then. Okay, I can hear this thing has now taken off, so I shall put that propane torch to the back. Open up the damper a little bit. It'll be alright. I'd rather not shit myself to death. I'd rather not. That sounds like an uncomfortable thing. And I guess I can share what's been going on this week. Dad's been sick, and one of his brothers just passed away. So it's been a hard week. I definitely needed this. I needed to sit by the fire and just have a little bit of a think, you know? You know what I mean? It'd just be really nice if my neighbor would turn off her light so that... Luna, lay down. I don't want you up. Lay down. Stay away from the fire. Oh, you good girl. Are you too cold? Do you need to go inside? What's up, baby? I don't need to clean out my intestine, like, in its entirety. I don't need my bowels to be evacuated so much that I paint the walls in the washroom. Good God. And yeah, this thing's well and fully lit now. Let's see if I can turn it so you guys can see it. There we go. Sort of. I need to make the chat larger, and I don't know how to do that. I don't know if I can do that without closing the yeah, it's a fresh everything at that point. Holy smokes. But yeah, I don't know if I can make the chat larger without like completely stopping the stream, and I don't want to do that. I do wish I had some sort of cushion on my booty, because I'm not on bare ground. I'm on a drop sheet, but that drop sheet is on bare ground. It's just straight concrete. Because I'm sitting on a concrete pad instead of dirt, which would actually have been preferable. Oh well. Nobody's gonna want to sit there and watch me evacuate. Nobody's gonna want that. Only you would want that. Only you want that, Lucius, and I'm not gonna do what you want. I am, however, using this kerosene lamp to warm up my hands because I'm not wearing gloves and it's really freaking cold out here and the fire hasn't actually warmed up quite yet. After about 15 minutes is when this thing really starts to get good. So, in another 5-10 minutes it'll be alright. And, nothing hasn't burned down yet, so that's a good sign. I can adjust that a little bit so that none of it is touching around the whole thing. Top of it's warm at least. Not hot yet, but warm. I don't want to overfire this thing. I gotta be careful of that. Why are you one of my mods? Why'd I make you a mod? This is the kind of shit I would normally be asking you to kick the person out for. Holy shit. Why are you a mod? I could have made JDM a mod. How's it going? Huh? You being a good guard dog? You checking out for any coyotes? We're burning clean. No smoke is coming out anymore. And because there's a little bit of water in the atmosphere right now, we're getting a bit of a rainbow around the moon. Now this camera isn't sensitive enough to see that, but I'm hoping to get a new camera soon. Honestly, for that to happen, I think I do need to somehow successfully get some Patreons, because I don't think I can afford it just by working. There's a difference between doing a quick 15-second video of that and actively doing that on a live. I think there's a little bit of a difference, don't you? Notice that this thing's kind of touching on one side. There we go. Because, yeah, if I can avoid the chimney touching at all, that's what I would like. I'd like to avoid it touching anything at all. Yeah. canvas seems to be holding up well. Although I can tell it's kind of stretching with time. And as this thing heats up, which is not something I actually really foresaw, so I'm going to have to keep that in mind for next time. Tighten it down even more than I think it needs to be tightened down. I think it'll be alright, but it's just something to keep in mind. It's weird, with lives, always up the first 5-10 minutes, I get tons of people watching, and then just nobody for a little bit, and then a bunch of people come. It's really weird. I don't know if the numbers are correct on my lives or anything, but it's pretty interesting. Can I make it so you guys can see the fire and my face? Yeah, but only if it's a side profile shot. Yeah, you see, for me it's showing 1, which is just you, right? So I don't know if I get the live number and you guys get updated every few minutes or how that works, but I'm okay with just hanging out like this anyways. This thing seems to not be moving so much anymore, so that's a good sign. Yeah, so I think I get the live number, you guys get something that's updated every few minutes. This Winterwell stove is bloody incredible. It's truly a good stove. As you can see, this area right here is really getting toasty now. That's right where the baffle is. So I think I can... Yeah, I can lower the burn rate by doing that. And I don't want it to get so hot that it gets red hot. That's an overburn right there. That's getting it too hot. Hey, Andrew. I don't trust you tagging me in anything. I don't think it's going to be something I want. Most of the time when you tag me in things, it's not things I want. Most of the time, of course. Not all the time, but just, 80, 95%. Is it a cockpit going for 2,000 euros? Or 20,000 euros, sorry, not 2,000. I can't do math. I think that's got clearance all the way around. And even in the places that it's touching, it's not really doing much. So I used something I can make at home. Intriguing. So I used a I can feel the heat starting to radiate a little bit. I used what's it called? A silicone fire resistant mat? I don't know. And a red marker. I used a red marker to kind of draw the outline for where that chimney spout goes. And God, my toes are getting cold. And because I used a red marker, for a very split second, one of the fibers looked like it was burning in the light, and I was like, oh shit. Or more smoldering, less burning. But yeah, that chimney guard is working really well. I'm actually really happy with that thing's performance. And I think I can turn that baffle down just a little bit, because I don't know if you guys can see, but yeah, you see that little glowing dot right there? Yeah, that's the little piece of metal that kind of, it's the rod that goes all the way through this thing, and it's red hot. Like, it's toasty. Yeah, I've got the baffles almost completely closed on this thing. I don't know if I like this wood. I got it from Canadian Tire, and it's like $10 a bag. And I only got it so that I could actually do the burn-in for the stove. And yeah, I don't know if I like it. It claims it's smokeless, but I am calling that a fib. Or at least in my experience. Although I do have the baffles turned like way down, and it was pretty well smokeless earlier, so it depends on the condition you're burning, I guess. But I want that slow roll flame that you see right now, right? Why? Why? There we go. I'm getting a much slower roll of a burn here instead of everything glowing red hot, which is what I want. I want it to do a nice slow roll burn. You're a good girl, Luna. Good girl. You're a good German Shepherd. So Andy sent me a Snapchat today, and it was of a dog getting acupuncture. And I gotta say, that's probably the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I didn't even know dogs could get acupuncture without, biting the person that was doing it. I don't know if that's normal, but I guess where Andy's at, it happens. His wife's a vet. Oh, that's a nice slow roll right now. It's not super intense. I can feel the heat building. But not like super intensely, which is what I like. I'm not going to be getting some sort of runaway or whatever. Yeah, no, I gotta close the baffles almost completely here. And when I do, that's when it starts to smoke. Which, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So I redact my statement earlier about the smoke. It's proper. This thing's working properly, or the wood's all right. The wood's all right. But I actually feel like I might be at a little bit of a risk of hurting my toes here. I'm getting cold. Oh, my pants are getting warm though. I can feel the radiant heat off of it, which is the key thing. And mind you, I'm only in a half shelter. If I was in my full shelter, my tent, which I finally welded up the frame for, but not the what's it called? I don't have the wooden dowels for it. Sorry, I got distracted by somebody walking by. I think it was somebody walking by at least. Um, I just wish my neighbor would turn off her light because that's incredibly intrusive. I hate I hate it when lights are so bright that you can't see the Milky Way above you. And mind you, yeah, there's a little bit of a haze in the sky, but I should absolutely be able to see more stars than I can right now. Of course, it doesn't help that I have ruined my night vision with this thing right here, and this, but this isn't super bright. This, however, is. That thing's actually very bright. Yeah, every so often the fabric is either moving or, well, it has to be the fabric settling or something, because every little bit the chimney touches. Sometimes it feels like you did. Oh. Can you guys hear that? I hear coyotes. Probably more than a kilometer away, but I hear coyotes. And they're excited for something. Ooh, they're excited for something. They just caught something. They cornered something. I can hear it. Even Luna's looking a little on edge here. Although I can feel her warming up a little bit because of the heat here. And oh, it's finally reaching the glass, which means it's going to clean up the glass a little bit. Yeah, the front window is completely cleaned up right now, which is nice. Fireproof glass is freaking incredible material. What's wrong with you? Why you gotta ruin it, Paul? Why you gotta ruin it, Lucas? But no, I hear the coyotes, which is nice. I like the coyotes. They're fun little creatures. So one thing I will say, the smoke is dissipating pretty well right away. It's getting about 15 feet above me and then just going. It's not dissipating as much as I'd like it to, but it's okay. That, and as far as anybody's concerned, it's coming from the chimney that was in my house. Hey, guess what? You lost the game. You lost the game. It does smell nice. I don't know who that is. And I feel like I'm very thankful for not knowing who that is. I don't want you to tell me who that is either. I'd rather remain in blissful ignorance right now. Alright, thank you everybody for watching the stream. Why? Why? What did I do to deserve this? What did I do to deserve this? Can you do me a favor and just start putting random, Yeah, you did. Literally random hashtags, not horrible ones. Do your job. In the chat. I want to see if that brings people in. Like, hashtag fire pit, stuff like that. I don't know if I can do that myself. Does that actually, like, come up as a... Does that actually come up as, like, a searchable or clickable term? Oh my god. Oh my god, it's happening. Or does that actually work? I don't know if it... Yeah, I didn't think it would. I don't know. I think I have to do that kind of thing in the description or in the chat myself. Delicious. Nice and warm. Well, my toes are not feeling it. But this thing's actually, like, radiating a decent amount of heat now. Yeah. Opening up the chimney baffle does reduce the smoke. There's like a sweet spot, you know what I mean? How's it going, loop-de-loop? Perfect, just the individual I wanted to see. It was you that I said I was going to explain more of what was going on this week, right? I've responded to a lot of comments in the last couple of days. I'm starting to lose track. But I think I told you I was going to explain what was happening this week. We had a loss in the family here. One of Carly's uncles, my uncle-in-law, passed away. Yeah, I'm doing better today. I'm doing better having this. I definitely need this kind of thing for my own mental health. Like, I need to do this kind of thing basically every Friday, I think. Do a stream and do that. But yeah, unfortunately, Uncle Tony was found in his apartment on his couch, and yeah, the cops came at like 12:30 in the morning on Tuesday, and just in addition to that kind of bad news, Dad's been sick these last few days, or my father-in-law, I should say. I just call him Dad, right? But he's been sick these last few days, actually this last couple weeks here, and you know, the loss of his brother and him being sick. Dad's the toughest man I know. He's a farmer through and through. He's by a wide margin the toughest guy I know. And for only the second time, and multiple times this week, but for only the second time in the 11 years that I've known him, because that's how long I've been with Carly, I've only seen him shed a singular tear that entire time, and that was for when his dog passed away a few years ago. And that was the only time I seen that man shed a single tear. That's all it was, a singular tear. So to see him in so much pain during the week, it was... I mean, I'm not heartless. I got some empathy, right? So it was just, it was really hard seeing that. I gotta read the comments here. Yeah, you know what? One of the things I like to remind myself of is that life isn't permanent. It comes to an end, and that's really what makes it so special, right? Like, I got Luna here. She's keeping me company. She's just kind of staring at the wall, listening out for coyotes and such, right? But I know eventually it'll come for her time to go, and we always prepare for that, right? But it's just it's hard when you lose anybody, right? Oh yes, she's a very nice dog. You're a very good dog, Luna. Very good papa. Hi, baby. She's like, Dad, I want to go inside, but I don't want to go inside because we're outside. But it's cold outside, so I want to go inside, Dad. If she could speak, that's exactly what she'd be saying. But yeah, that's what's been going on. That's why it's been such a hard week. And some days are better, some days are worse, right? Grief is not something that just goes away, right? It's a process. It's ups and downs, and it's constantly evolving. Oh, I think Mom and Dad are actually home. Oh, that's perfect. They get to see my half shelter set up for the first time, which is hilarious. Oh, now that Luna's gone, I can actually lay down a little bit. I'm sorry to hear that, bud. We had another dog, a Newfoundlander. Luna, what are you doing? We had a Newfoundlander that we rescued off the streets of Vancouver a few years ago. His name was Mojo, and we had him for a month and a half. I spent $1,500 on dental surgery for him, and then he passed away. Hello. As you can see, I've done a thing. It's actually working really well. It's helping some of the heat stay in here. Pretty neat. I think Luna's gone inside, which kind of helps me out. I can actually lay down a little bit. I can hear Luna's footsteps on the baby monitor because the kitchen is right above Freya's room, and it's got tile on the ground. Yeah, poor Mojo. Well, we were able to give him a good end of life. I will admit that, because at the time we lived on the farm in Langley. The farm was called Dave's Apple Orchard, for those that are interested. But yeah, we rescued him off the streets of Vancouver. His original owner wasn't able to take care of him anymore, and he was actually found sitting underneath a burnt-out RV in a puddle of like grease and oils and fuel and shit. So we were able to give him a good life, at the end at least, which he knew he was loved. He knew he was loved, which is it's always nice to know you're loved. Okay, enjoy your day, Lucius. Enjoy your day. I remember when my cat Moo passed away a couple years ago. It was you know, pretty close to when we moved out to where we're at now, and she knew she was loved. She passed away in my arms, right? And it's painful, but again, it's part of life, right? Oh, that's awesome, Amy. Amy, awesome. Nice name. Yeah, it's we try to show them that we love them, right? Because sometimes animals don't get the best of life, right? You never forget them. You never forget your pets. I have Luna tattooed on my leg right here. She's gonna be a part of me for the rest of my life. And like I'm gonna be broken when she passes, right? But again, it's the fact that life isn't permanent that makes it so special, and that makes it makes it worth the pain of loss. Like it's worth it to give the ones you love, you know, a good life. One day I'll introduce y'alls to Drax and Ophelia. Drax is a leopard gecko, and Ophelia is a corn snake. Both absolutely adorable. They're downstairs in the reptile room. Actually, now that I've said that, I'm remembering I want to clean out Ophelia's tank tomorrow. Like, do a deep clean on it. I'm glad you found your life calling. That's amazing. That's truly an incredible thing. I'm very happy about that. That you're doing that, taking in reptiles, because that is that makes me happy. That makes me happy. Here, let me turn you guys a little bit so you can see the flames. There we go. But yeah, I do want to work on their enclosures a little bit, make them a little bit more mentally stimulating, because they're not bad right now. They're not bad at all. But I'd love to make it so that it really, as closely as possible, replicates their natural habitats. Because I feel like that would be pretty mentally stimulating for them. You're in Minnesota, eh? Pretty good, my friend. It's cold out here, but the radiant heat is nice, and I can feel it warming up my leg, and I think that's the only thing that's stopping me from going into shiverings here. How is it in Minnesota right now? Oh yeah, you told me that, loop-de-loop. You told me you'd be going to New York City. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, bud. You know, we're pretty lucky here right now. It's not a snowstorm at all. It's just cold. It's like I think last time I checked it was 10 below, maybe 11 below now in Celsius. Could be colder. Could be way colder. Last year around this time it was like 23 below, which sucked. Personally, I like snowstorms because once you have a shelter set up and that first layer of snow hits it, it insulates it. So, oh, that's got to be like that's got to be at least 20 below, right? I'm not good at the conversion, but that's got to be at least 20 below. I'm assuming you're talking Fahrenheit, right? Yeah, sorry, I can't. I gotta go right in to be able to see it. Yeah, 7 below Fahrenheit. Yeah, that's cold because 32 is freezing, right? 32 is 0 for you guys, right? I think that's the case. But yeah, that's just a little chilly. Just a little chilly, bud. Okay, I've opened up the baffle a little bit to try to get it. Yes, it's you know, you get frosted tips weather. It's perfect. It's You know, it's just t-shirt weather. You know how it is. There we go. I got that thing going again pretty good. It's interesting. There's like a cap at the top of the chimney, and it's the only thing up there that's even mildly glowing, and it's just funny to see. You know, I've always heard New York pizza's pretty good. I've been to Italy before. That was the best pizza I've ever had in my entire life. And I've had a lot of pizza. I've had a lot of pizza in my day. Hello. Honestly, to be outdoorsy, all it is doing it, I guess. Throwing yourself into relatively uncomfortable situations that, you know, you're still able to control, right? Like, I'm basically just in my backyard right now. So, it's not bad, but it's fun to be outdoorsy. It's not for everybody, for sure. But if you're able to do it, like if you're able to kind of push yourself out of your comfort zone and do it, I fully recommend it. What are you saying, Luke? You had really good pizza in Denmark. Oh, you went to Denmark. Nice. That's pretty cool. That's a place I don't think I've been to Denmark yet. I'd love to check it out. I've been to France. I've been to Monaco. That was neat. I've driven the track there. That was, I mean, it's just public roads, right? That was pretty neat. What's that? What's up, Dragon Boy? Yeah, I've been to Germany before. That was a pretty good time. I wouldn't mind going back, visiting a few different countries in Europe. That would be neat. How you feeling?
You know, that's the thing with it. It feels good, then it doesn't.
Yeah. It's a constant battle. You got this. Yeah, he's starting to feel a little better, but obviously it's, you know, up and down, up and down. You see, how do I put this? I don't like leaving my house. I don't even like leaving my computer room if I don't need to. But this kind of thing for me is even more comfortable than my computer room, than my gaming room, right? Like, I don't know what it is specifically about sitting by a fire, about doing lives like this. I don't know what it is in my brain, but it gives me, like, you know, that good feeling. You drive a box truck around the city you live in for work? Heck yeah, buddy. Heck yeah. One day, I'm hoping to do this kind of thing for work. Probably won't happen. I'm probably not that lucky, but I'd love to entertain for work. That's one of the reasons I'm doing this channel. That's one of the reasons I'm trying to work so hard to get to the YouTube partnership, right? It's I want to be able to make this kind of content during the week. I want to be able to actually record videos. I want to, like, all I have is my phone. Every single video you see that's live action on my channel is taken on my phone. Whether that be shorts or the actual hot tent video that I made, the video that I'm working on for this thing, the video that I'm working on, the part 2 of the hot tent, right? I'd love to be able to do this full time, to just make content. Good for you, bud. Good for you. I personally don't subscribe to that, but hey, if it helps you, all the better. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you, brother. Heck yeah, bud. Heck yeah. I have yet to play The Last of Us. Well, no, that's a lie. I've played it when it came out, and that was it. I played it for like maybe 7 hours, and that was it. What I've recently been playing is I've actually been replaying a few games. Red Dead Redemption 2, I restarted that campaign again because that story mode is. Ooh. Oh. And playing Red Dead makes me want to do this as well. Have I watched the show Big Mouth? Yeah. Yeah. Through and through, my friend. Through and through. Have you watched Human Resources yet? Those shows, the creators of those shows are, Big Mouth is such a great show. I'd love to play The Last of Us again. Again, I played a little bit of it, and then just for some reason, I never picked it up again. And I want to, because it is genuinely a good show. I gotta turn this baffle down a little bit, because I can see a little bit of heat coming out the top, and I don't like that. You know what I think it is for the chimney constantly kind of touching the fabric every once in a while? I think it's literally it heating up and cooling down, because it seems to be affected by how big that baffle is opened. And yeah, the Red Dead story is, first of all, one of the most beautiful games I've ever played, hands down. The story is just incredible. Playing as Arthur Morgan, playing, up to chapter 2 is just like, wow. And then when you get sick, it's just like, whoa. And just depending on if you have high honor or low honor, the different, voice lines you get, the different chats you get, it's just wild. Have I ever played Barbie Horse Adventure? It's just like Red Dead Redemption, except good. I have not, but based on the name, I feel like it would be a funny game to play for sure. I'll have to check that out. I still have to check out Turnip Boy Commits Tax Fraud or something like that. I want to check that game out. It looks funny. Stop quoting your dad's law commercials. Yeah, Jay is he is his own hormone monster. He is his own hormone monster, for sure, no doubt. You played Turnip Boy? How was it? I keep hearing good things about it. I hear it's funny. The fact that, you got to commit tax fraud or tax evasion or fraud of any sort, to me, is absolutely hilarious. Like, that's peak comedy gameplay to me. That is genuinely hilarious. Diablo. Okay. Don't hate me for this. I haven't actually played Diablo at all. I don't even think I've seen gameplay of it. I've heard a lot about it, but for some reason I've just never played it. And I feel like, based on what I've heard about it, it would be the kind of game I would play. They made a sequel where he robs a bank. I'll have to check out Turnip Boy, because that does seem like a genuinely fun game. I'm not used to playing that style of game where it's, 2D top-down, that kind of thing. I'm used to playing games like Red Dead, War Thunder, 7 Days to Die. What's another game I've been playing a lot recently? Oh, Arma 3. I've been playing Arma 3 a lot. I was thinking of getting Arma Reforger because it just seems like a decent next step for Arma, right? I will have to check out Diablo because I haven't checked it out yet, but it does seem like a good game. Bet you won't be able to guess how old this guy is. Nobody gets it right on the first try. I'm older than I look, I'll put it that way. Nice. Harry Potter. I've watched all the movies through and through, but that was back when I was a stoner still, before I got into my sobriety here. So I don't remember a lot. I don't look 47. Although nice guess. Holy crap. Okay, yeah, I'm 26 and I'm about to be 27 in May. Good guess. Damn. Most people guess either way too high or way too low. Very good guess. Loop-de-loop, you already knew that. You weren't allowed to tell people hints. I gotta leave the candle thing like right in front of my phone to make it give proper light, but I think it's... There we go. I think it gives a bit of a glare if I do that. What if I do this? There we go. I think that's a little better. No worries, Loop-de-loop. You're golden, bud. I'm just teasing. Whoo! That's a jet of flame coming out that, if there ever was one. One good thing, all the creosote and the blackness is burned off of the glass, so we can actually see the coals. Wow, that's so hot I can't hold my hand close enough anymore, and my toes are no longer freezing off, which is nice. I like having warm toes. 43. Hopefully I'll reach 43. Who knows what the future holds. You never know. You might not wake up tomorrow, so you better live life to the fullest today. I hope to live to 43 at least. You see, my objective, excuse me, my objective is to get to like 82, and that's it. That's a full life for me. I'm just gonna sit in the woods and wait for it to happen. But time will let me know when it's my time. And again, the fact that life ends, that's what really makes it precious. One of the most precious gifts we're given is life. Yeah, you see, I guess I should be more like, I should say more of like, it's whenever my quality of life drops like a stone, that's when it's like, you know, MAID exists here in Canada. I'm going to make sure that's in my will. Because I don't want to be a burden on my family. I don't want them to... I don't want them to remember me as some burden or anything like that. I want them to remember me as this, the guy that, you know, does this kind of thing and enjoys being outdoors and enjoys doing live streams and talking to people, right? Bro, what the fuck? No, let's see if we can come up with a better retirement plan than that, Dragon Boy. I think life will eventually get better for the average American. I'm hoping it does, because you know, that's all. That's what we want. We want life to get better for our kids and the next generation, and we want life to get better for ourselves, right? But, and yeah, quality of life is the key, because I'm okay with living to 100 as long as I'm not, you know... What? I shit myself. Right, like, I want to... I want to have a good quality of life. Yeah, you know what? as with every single country, there's good and bad. Like, some of our history is in Canada here is, oof, it's messed up. We've done some real messed up shit. But we've also done some really good things. So there's good and bad to every country. I do wish that 47 would stop with the 51st state shit, because that thing really does bother me. But, you know, it is what it is. What's good, Spiral? How you doing, bud? I've heard basically only good things about Minnesota. I will admit, I've basically only ever heard good things about Minnesota. So I think you're quite lucky in that sense. It does seem to be pretty similar to up here. So does the army, I guess, sort of, except, I mean, you have a chance of dying in both. Good for you, Amy. Like, that's awesome. I'm really happy to hear that. I do believe that most Americans are good people. I do believe that. I believe that people that voted for 47 are a tad confused and need mental help, but, you know, they're allowed to vote for who they want for, right? And I do love the USA in that kind of sense, where, you know, it's supposed to be the symbol of democracy. I don't love what it's becoming, but I do love 47 is the Oompa Loompa. I do love the idea of what the USA can be. As I love my country, I have my country's flag. I have the Canadian flag tattooed right here, right? I love this country. It has given me everything. There's some people here that they don't appreciate what we've got, and that does break my heart. I wish people would appreciate more the home that they have. But I know there's also some people that just genuinely want to see others in pain, and that's unfortunate. It's an unfortunate reality of our lives, right? There's some people that just, they get off on seeing others in pain. Hopefully those kind of people never gain power ever again after 47, but, you know, we don't know what the future holds. All we can do is stand with each other and help each other, right? Like, we sent you guys a bunch of firefighting equipment, a bunch of aircraft, and a bunch of firefighters when California was on fire. And I'm incredibly proud of us for doing that. I'm proud of my fellow Canadians that went down and helped out, because that's what we should do. We shouldn't throw away years of working together all because of one individual, right? I assume those are all really deep red states. I unfortunately don't know off the hand if they are. Yeah, I think in times like this, one of the best things we can do is exactly that. Focus on service of the community, helping out each other, and none of this picking yourself up by the bootstrap BS, because that isn't how it works. The only way that a society lasts, the only way that a society works together. Yes, I got my phone plugged in today. I can do this stream basically as long as this is still warm, because it is freezing out here. Yeah, I do think no matter what happens, we have to help each other as a society. We are in a global society. Yes, a lot of us are fools, but what can you do, right? All you can do is help your neighbor, and that's one of the most important things we can do. Yeah, I don't get me wrong. Somebody comes here with malice intent, they're not going home, and their body will fertilize our soil. But at the same time, you know, olive branch. Yeah, again, there's some people that they'll absolutely throw away decades of alliances for profit, right? And we can't let those people control us. We can't let them essentially take our lives away. We got to fight for our rights to be free. And we got to, we got to remind the upper classes that they only exist because we essentially let them. Yes, NATO is a great alliance. It will remain strong. Ohio becomes its own thing. Is it Ohio or Idaho that has all the Mormons? Which one's the Mormon capital of the world? I can't remember now. I used to know this. South Park made a lot of fun of that. I love South Park. That's such a great show. Oh, is it Utah? Ah, Utah. Oh, man. You see, I'm all for religious freedom. Again, I personally don't subscribe to any religion. But I do understand that it does help some people. The second that one's religion infringes on the rights of others, that's where it needs to be, stopped. But I do, like, my mom's a devout non-denominational Christian, and I'm okay with that. She raised me as a Christian, but I personally can't. I can't. One of the things that oh, I hope you hang out till you have to go, Spiral. Thank you. One of the things that really stopped me from believing is, children getting cancer, that kind of thing, kids getting hurt. That's the thing that made me go, yeah, no, it's all pure chance. It's all pure chance. Our universe, in my belief, is a random number generator, and we just happen to be the lucky few that, exist. I believe aliens exist. Have they come to Earth? Probably not. I don't believe any proof exists of that, but I don't believe that Earth is the only life in the universe. The universe never creates anything in singles. There's always another of everything, right? Whether that be, elements or anything, right? It'll be interesting to see if if anything like that ever comes to fruition and we're able to say, there's the aliens, or there's the other form of life in the universe kind of deal. Science rules. Bill Nye, the science guy. My God. Sound like Dr. Herbert or whatever from The Simpsons for a second there. That was a weird laugh. Yes, I believe in the scientific method. It's why we have this phone that I'm able to stream to y'all's on. I was actually pretty obsessed with aliens as a teenager as well, too. It was quite interesting. And this was before the History Channel went all wacky. I had to, read different books to find the stuff. The online community wasn't as big as it was now. It's always fun to go check out what people think. Again, in my opinion, there's no evidence for aliens having visited Earth in any capacity. But some people believe differently, and that's fine. That's fine. I believe they are being conned by con artists, but what can you do, right? It's actually so warm up here compared to... Oh, it's so warm up here. Like, that's actually so nice. Thank you, Spiral. I appreciate it, bud. I appreciate you watching the shorts there, because, there's a lot of comments there that I'm seeing people get inspiration from it, and that kind of thing really does. It helps me want to continue making the shorts, and it helps me continue the channel, right? Like I enjoy making content. I enjoy doing this. Yes, I like what you're saying there, Dragon Boy. There are some Christians that are truly good Christians, and I would give my life for them as they would give their life for me. They'd give me the shirt off their back, and I'll give them the shirt off my back. They are good people. But like you said, it breaks my heart that some people claim to be Christian, and then all they do is hate on what is their God's creation. They hate their God's creation, and to me that's just so wrong, right? I don't know what comes after this life, if anything does even come after. Personally, I think, it's like when you go to sleep and you don't dream anything. I think that's what passing is. I think that's what death is, right? But I fully support people believing otherwise. I fully support that as long as, like you said, it doesn't hurt people. I'm glad you get inspiration. I'm glad you get inspiration, Spiral. And Loop-de-Loop, it's good. You judge a man by his character, not by his religion or his... you judge him by his actions. English. Yeah, it's... I don't understand why there's so much hate against trans individuals. Some of my best friends are trans, and I genuinely do not understand the hate. They're getting abused for the accumulation of power right now. It's like how the black community and the Hispanic community and the Asian community get scapegoated for so many things when, like, really? Come on, it's not that it's that's not how it works. You know what I mean? Yes, I've had extremely bad experiences with churches. Extremely bad. Yeah. I've had a few really good experiences with churches. I've met some very good people in churches, but I've also met some people that, if hell exists, they have a one-way ticket. Hate in general is so unneeded, it never helps. That is true. That is true, Loop-de-Loop. That is very true. Spiral, my next stream, I might do one tomorrow, actually. I might go out, see if I can find some locally sourced firewood that somebody's willing to sell me that's been seasoned for a little bit, because I have some firewood sitting behind me, but it hasn't been seasoned yet, and I don't want to create any excessive smoke. So if I can find some firewood, I'll be streaming tomorrow. Yeah, it's truly sad when innocent people get scapegoated. I don't understand it myself, doing that to your fellow countrymen. I don't understand why somebody would do it, but clearly it happens so much, right? I don't think it'll be in the morning. I'm gonna have to do it in the afternoon, evening here. I only do this kind of thing at night, or at least when the sun goes down, so maybe if we're lucky, I'll get to do it at around 5, 6 o'clock instead of starting it at like 7:30, 8 o'clock like I did today. But that's about the earliest I'd be able to do it. I'm sorry, buddy. Yeah, I can only really do streams in the afternoon, evening. Unfortunately, just due to how my schedule works out. If I could, again, like I said, this would be like a 24-hour stream. Or, well, not necessarily 24 hours, but I do a 12-hour stream where it's literally just, I get to talk to people, right? This interaction that we're having here is one of the reasons why I like streaming. It's one of the reasons why I do this, it's the YouTube, right? I don't stream on Twitch anymore, and I don't stream on any other platform. I only stream on YouTube, really. Um, but yeah, this kind of interaction, these kind of philosophical topics, it truly is nice to talk to people. I might not share your religion, Dragon Boy, but I'm still able to talk to you like you're, as Christians say, you're my brother, right? I do believe in that kind of thing of calling everybody brother, sister, or anything in between that they prefer to be called, right? Because I believe that we all evolved from the same thing, right? Like there's all like there's a common ancestor between all of us, so we're all brothers and sisters in my eyes. And you don't treat your brothers and sisters bad. And I think if more people viewed it that way, maybe this world would be better, right? All right, Spiral, you have yourself a wonderful evening, my friend. You want to see me fight a moose? That will certainly result in my death. They are more aggressive than bears. I'd rather come across a bear while hiking over a moose. Mind you, I'm talking, black bear. But I would rather come across a bear over a moose. A moose will kill you just for fun. A bear will only attack you if it feels threatened or is sick. A moose will just kill you for fun. And yes, I actually do plan on doing some hiking stuff. For that, I do want to get a bit of a better camera than I got. Because again, I literally only have my phone right now. I have a Rebel T5, but it's not the T5i. It's just the Rebel T5. So that means I can only do 12 minutes of filming before the video buffer fills up, and it just automatically stops. And that is a pain. Yeah, you know what Dragon Boy is saying for me. If I was judged fairly, nobody would hang out with me, right? I think forgive and forget is definitely one of the ways to live. And yes, moose are bloody huge, mate. Their shoulder, I'm 5'6". Their shoulder is taller than me. A decent sized moose is like way taller than me. I cannot fight a moose. I can't fight a bear. That being said, I would love to box a kangaroo. I don't know what it is about kangaroos, but I'd love to just go toe to toe with one. I know it would kick my ass. There's no way I'm winning that fight. Not a snowball's chance in hell. But I would absolutely love to fist fight a kangaroo. I'd get my shit kicked out of me for sure. No doubt. But I'd love to fight a kangaroo. People have said I've got while I'm at work, people say I have a southern accent, like a southern US accent. Some people say I got the British accent. Some people say Aussie. Some people say Newfie. I have been around so many different groups of people that my accent is a strange conglomeration of all of it. And I don't notice when I'm switching in between them, because I'll randomly switch between accents depending on what I'm saying, how excited I am, what the topic is, who I'm talking to, right? I don't even notice when I'm doing it. It's so weird. Like, it's strange as hell. And then when people call it out, I become super aware of it, and I'm like, holy shit, I really did do that, didn't I? Good night, Loop-de-Loop. It was an absolute pleasure having you here, and thank you so much. We'll be hopefully streaming tomorrow. I really hope that. And yep, I'll be doing my update video tonight as well. Catch you in the next stream, brother. Yeah, a kangaroo would, without hesitation, just rear up and then boop, just kick me in the stomach with its massive pythons for legs. Have you ever seen a kangaroo flex? Like, have you seen that? It's a meme image at this point, but it's a kangaroo, and he's got because the person used a camera with flash on it. He's flexing, and then he's got really, really red eyes. Yeah, that. I'd love to fight that guy. It's not gonna happen, because I don't want to die, but I'd love to fight him. That shit looks like fun. like unironically, it really does look like fun. He knew a kid in school that looked like a kangaroo. All I know about kangaroos is if you don't want to fight them, you just kind of crouch down. You do a bit of a squat, and once you get down, they get down because they're like, oh, he's not challenging me. But the second you do this, that's when they're like, all right, come at me, bitch. Ooh, I could hear some coyotes up the hill a little bit ago when Luna was out here with me. And they must have cornered something. They caught something or the other, because they got excited real quick. It was really quiet, so I think they were at least, a kilometer out, 1,000 meters, right? But I could hear them. I gotta find a comfortable spot. It's starting to get colder now that the flames have gone out, and it's just embers and everything in there now, and coals. I'm pretty happy with this thing's performance. Wow, it's really good, and I don't have to put it out tonight. I can just leave this set up until the morning. I can let these burn down naturally, because usually when I do a stream, by the time I reach this, it's I gotta like start pulling the coals out, that kind of thing. Yeah, the coyotes will they'll get wild turkeys out here. They'll get the pheasants that we got out here. We got pheasants and quail. Small birds. They'll catch that. When I lived on the farm in Langley, I remember I was coming home. I've told this story before, but I'm going to tell it again because it's just a fun story. I was coming home from work, and there was this sandwich shop on 200th Street. If you're ever in Langley, British Columbia, you have to go check these guys out. It's called Estrella's Montreal-style deli. They make some of the best sandwiches I've ever had in my entire life. Get yourself a sandwich called the Montreal. It's literally 2 fistfuls of meat. Like, my fists are small compared to how much meat you get in this sandwich. You get it on a piece of sourdough. You get some Dijon mustard on that thing, and that's all it is. It's sourdough, Dijon mustard, and I think it's corned beef. That's all you need. You take a bite out of that, and you'll see fireworks. It is incredible. So, I had gotten one of those sandwiches after work. Then, I'm pulling up onto our dirt road. Yeah, actually a small cat-sized stack of meat is pretty accurate, actually. So I'm pulling up on our dirt road, and I see coyotes in the back 40. So I'm like, I'm gonna chase them. And I'm on a little 49cc scooter. It's a street scooter. It's not meant to go off-road. It's not meant to go fast on any sort of rough terrain, right? But I see the coyotes. I got my sandwich in the back, just sitting in a milk crate that I've strapped to the back of it. I'll show it to you guys one day if I remember to do this during a live when it's a little brighter out. But I just start chasing after these coyotes, and then I'm like, I feel a big bump, and then the rear end just sinks, right? And I'm like, ooh, that's not good. That doesn't quite feel right, but I think it's okay. It's still running, it's still moving. The torque converter hasn't completely shattered, it feels like, so we're golden. I scare them off. I turn around. And yeah, I've completely destroyed the rear end of this 49cc scooter. It's it's moped style, right? It's not a dirt bike. It's just a 49cc scooter. Pull into the barn. I see that the exhaust is touching the rear tire. I'm like, oh, great. The worst part, the absolute worst part, I go to open up my sandwich box, and it's just exploded everywhere. There's meat all over inside the bag. I can see a trail of meat leading to the barn from where it just started falling out. And I'm like, man, this is an expensive sandwich. I slap that thing together. I start eating it. I'm like, still just as good. That was real nice. That was real nice. It was definitely not my smartest move. I definitely regret doing that. But I fixed the scooter. It still runs. It still works. It's still good enough to get around town. I live in a much smaller town now. But I just regret losing just that little bit of meat out that sandwich. One thing I really do not like doing is wasting food, and especially if it's a meat product where an animal gave its life to allow me to eat. I do not like wasting that kind of food. If it's a vegetable or a grain, it's not quite as morally apprehensible to me, but to waste any sort of meat product for me is like, that just feels wrong, because an animal has given its life to give you sustenance, and you just wasted that, right? So I felt really bad about that. Yeah, no, it definitely was grittier than usual. There was a little bit of dust in it for sure. It was a dusty day on the farm, but I still ate that sandwich. There was no way I was letting that meat go to waste. It was still such a good sandwich. Still such a good sandwich. And it's just a little bit of dust. Like, if I'm driving around on the tractor and my wife brings me a sandwich or something, or brings me a Subway, right? I'm not gonna go inside to wash my hands, and they're covered, like, they're caked in dirt. So it's no different, right? It's no different. Um, Definitely not sanitary, not the healthiest thing to do, I will admit, but it's no different than, eating that sandwich is no different than eating some dinner or something, outside while I'm still working in the field, right? And that's something I miss. Ever since we left the farm, we had 6 head of cattle, 40 acres, and I do miss it a lot. I do genuinely miss it a lot. Something that I don't know if y'all will find this a little morbid or not, but okay, so I helped one of the cattle give birth. I helped one of the cows give birth, and she was all right. The calf was fine. It's funny. I was actually walking in the back, and I look over and I notice the calf sticking halfway out, and I'm like, the heck's going on over? Oh shit! And I run towards them. When I start getting close to them, I start doing a really slow walk, so that they know that I'm there to help and everything. Yes, the dirt has the essential vitamins and minerals. Yes. I helped that calf come into this world, and I named it Cheeseburger. And about a year and a half later, I was eating cheeseburger made of cheeseburger. It was the most delicious cheeseburger I've ever had. It's a little bit morbid, but when you live on the farm and you know what the animal's destiny is, you gotta do that kind of joke, or you become sad about it, right? And I didn't want to be sad about it, but it's that kind of thing that makes me go, yeah, I really don't like wasting any meat product, because I've helped animals come into this world knowing what their destiny is, and I just want to make sure they always have the highest quality of life Because one, it makes the meat taste better. Like, when you raise your own cattle, you come to realize that the stuff that we buy in the supermarket is garbage, first off. And second off, always buy your meat from a local butcher that sources the meat locally, because you will thank yourself, and whoever's eating the meat that you got will thank yourself, or will thank you. Yes, it's a little more expensive, but it's worth it. It's worth the extra cost. That, and you're helping somebody local, right? Always try to get your meat from the local butcher if you can. But yeah, it's that kind of thing that it made me want to never waste meat again. I don't want to waste grain products either, but I really never want to waste any sort of meat product ever again because of that. Because I've looked into an animal's eyes. I've looked into a cow's eyes knowing what's going to happen to it, right? Yes, I saw crispy bacon. I saw that that newscast. That was absolutely tops. Genuinely some of the funniest things I've ever seen. Yeah, yeah. When it's the same, exactly the same. When you got feed animals for your reptiles, right? It's even though it's just a roach, you understand what its destiny is, and you understand the circle of life, right? Um, and yeah, it's one of those things that I think that when we start to understand that a little more as people, we will tend to waste less food, right? Like I really don't like wasting food. Um, yeah, like you said, it's you come to know what these animals want. You try to give them the best possible life, because for feed animals, not only does that ensure that your pet is actually getting the nutrients it needs and all the vitamins and minerals it needs, but it for me at least, it gives me a feeling of this is okay. This kind of thing is okay, right? Yes. You even in this modern world, um, use every piece of the animal that you can. A good example is I don't throw out bacon grease. I actually render the lard, and I turn it into candles. I've only recently started doing that, mind you, but even for the byproducts of the animal, I don't want to waste that, because that is still a part of that animal, and that animal has given its life to give you sustenance. Use every part of it. That's one of the best things you can do to respect that animal. Um, when you render down the bacon grease, if you do it properly, there's only a very, very slight hint of any sort of bacon in there. A lot of what you're smelling from bacon is the caramelization of the meat itself, not necessarily the rendered fats, right? Um, that being said, if you do not render it completely and you leave a little bit of chunkiness in there, yeah, you can absolutely get it to smell like bacon. I personally wouldn't recommend it because it causes the candle to pop, but you can do that. Oh, that's incredible. Yes, one of the greatest things we can do to respect our elders is to remember language. I was actually born in Cuba, but I came to Canada when I was 2. So I'm as Canadian as they come. I'm a citizen, right? But one of the ways that I can respect my mother and respect my grandmother and everybody that came before me is to teach my daughter Spanish, right? And that's one of the things I've been trying to do. I need to be. I personally believe I need to be a little bit more diligent in it and practice it even more. But it is every single day that I'm trying to practice Spanish with her, and I do believe that language and the continuation of language is how we can truly respect our elders. One of the things that I was blessed with in this life is I got to spend a lot of time on reserves, just hanging out with kids and hanging out with people and learning the stories of this land. And I will never forget that. I will never forget the people that came here before me, the people that were here before me, sorry. And I will always respect what they do and the land that is rightfully theirs. I love this country a lot, and I love my people a lot. I love my fellow countrymen. It's beautiful out here, and I think one of the best ways that we can respect each other is to try to learn each other's language as well, right? But that is truly incredible. I'm very proud of your son and his father. That is awesome. Ooh, I can tell this thing's starting to really cool down. Wow, the moon has moved so far. I don't actually even know what time it is. Like, I have no idea what time it is. It must be getting late. Usually when I load this thing up as much as I did... 5-0! Usually when I load this thing up as much as I did, it lasts for about an hour and a half, and we're actually pretty well right at the hour and a half mark for this stream, so that's working out perfectly, I think. Now that I know where on the chimney this thing sits, this heat shield right here, I have a fiberglass wrap that I'm going to put around 11:22 Central, which means I'm on the West Coast. What is Vancouver or Seattle time? Is anybody able to look that up for me? I can't look it up, otherwise it pauses the stream. I think it's either 9 or 10:22 then. I think it's 9:22. I don't know if we're an hour or two off of Central. Yeah, I can really feel this thing starting to cool down now. It's not much. 9:22. Yeah, that's right. There's not much left in that fire, which means there's not much time left in this stream. Your sister lives in California. California. Or California girls, they're under... Oh my god. But I've been very lucky in my life. I've gotten to meet so many people. I actually lived in Florida. Specifically, I lived in Miami for a few months when I was probably about 8 or 9 years old, maybe 10 years old. Just a young buck. Everybody loves Katy Perry. Yeah, I lived in Miami, and funny story, I was walking with my cousin to go to a corner store, and we got mugged, like right around the corner from his house on the way to the store. Got all our money taken. We didn't have much on us. We had like 20 bucks. And then we just kept walking down to go see some of his friends. Or at least I think we were going to see some of his friends, because there was no reason to go to the to the convenience store that we were going to. And then another dude tried to fucking rob us again, and it was just like, this just happened like 400 meters that way, bud. I'm sorry, we got nothing. And he was like, the dude got mad and just walked away. You've never left Minnesota? It's rare that I leave BC, but when I do, I go all out. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I've been to a few countries in Europe. I've been literally the entirety of Italy. like the entire length of the peninsula, all the way from the Italian Alps to. I mean, I've been to. I think I went all the way down to Sicily, and then even further than that, I went to like the very tip of the boot. That was fun. That was years ago, though. Last time I went, I was like 14. Good times. Good times. My aunt lives out there. My aunt and uncle, and my cousin. I think I'm going to have about maybe 10 minutes left in the stream, max, because it's starting to get really cold and this fire is not providing any heat anymore. So I'll probably have to cut this rather soon. Ah, yes. I'd love to check out the fjords. You get like 1,300 meters deep. That's insane to me. Norwegian fjords get like super deep. I did the I did CRI Genetics, which is a California-based genetics testing lab, and I got like my DNA markup or makeup and everything, and it's pretty interesting. I had a little bit of Finnish DNA, Italian, Spain, English, a little bit of African, Nairobi African, I believe it was, and this is something interesting. I'm a descendant of Thomas Jefferson. Interesting for all the wrong reasons, because if you know why many people of color in the United States are related to Thomas Jefferson, you go, oh, that's cool. Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, but I wish it was literally almost anybody else. A lot of involuntary relations with his slaves. I'll put it that way. He forced himself upon his slaves. Yes, it was slaves. So that's the that's how I'm related to him. That's how I'm a descendant of him, which is Why couldn't it be anybody else? Why couldn't it be somebody cool, like, I don't know. Did my live just reset or something? I feel like my live just reset. It just said, you're live! You're related to Genghis Khan. Isn't it something like 15% of the global population is? Like some insanely high number? Yes. You know what? I think after that interesting fact, we'll call it, we'll probably end up calling it a night here in about a minute. I really want to thank y'all for hanging out. Like, it really means a lot that you stuck around for the stream here. It's these conversations are bloody amazing, and I'm glad that we're able to have them. I'm glad that we're able to sit together and you know, keep each other company. Thank you all so much, and I think I will stream tomorrow. I think I'm going to try to source some wood, and I think I will stream tomorrow. So look forward to that for anybody that... Now I sound Irish. You see? It goes all over the place. Sometimes I sound Newfie. I was raised by Newfies. A lot. I can understand a Newfoundlander speaking at full force. Even when he mixes in a little bit of Gaelic, I can understand it pretty good. But thank you all so much for hanging out. It really does mean a lot. And I'm glad that I'm seeming to build a bit of a community here, and feels nice. It's real nice. Thank y'all. And with that, I will catch y'all in the next stream. Thank you, everybody. Cheers.